Hello, Twetwe. What's going on here? Is it that village people followed Vice President Shettima from Nigeria all the way to overseas? What exactly happened? Because reports reaching us right now is that strange object hit Vice President Shettima's aircraft in New York. As a result of that, he had to cancel his Commonwealth trip, to come back to Nigeria. Before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here or you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. Most importantly, help give this video a massive thumbs up. That way we are able to bring more reliable and authentic news to you all. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima will no longer be attending the 2024 Commonwealth Heads of Government Summit after a strange object hit his aircraft, according to a statement sent to Newsroom Nigeria on Thursday night, signed by presidential media aide Bayo Nonuga. The cockpit windscreen of Shettima's aircraft was shattered by a foreign object during a stopover at JFK Airport in New York. The statement reads, Vice President Kashim Shettima's trip to Samoa to represent Nigeria at the 2024 Commonwealth Head of Government Summit has been cancelled after a foreign object hit his plane during a stopover at JFK Airport in New York. The foreign object damaged the cockpit windscreen of a plane. President Tinubu, acting promptly, has approved a ministerial delegation to represent Nigeria at the summit in the Samoa capital of Apia, while the plane's repair has commenced. The delegation, which will now represent Nigeria at the 2024 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Samoa, is being led by the Minister of Environment, Balarabe Abbas Lawal. The summit began on the Pacific Island on 21st October. It will end on 26th October. Vice President Shettima and Foreign Minister Yusuf Tuga have left New York for Nigeria. You all, what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that this was actually village people? That is the African belief. In Africa here, everything that happens that we cannot explain or we don't understand, we just think it is village people attacking us. In this situation, do you think it is village people, or do you think, since they were not on flight, I find it really weird, because how is it that the aircraft was parked at the JFK airport and a foreign object from nowhere just hits the aircraft? I find that really, really, really strange. And is it that somebody somewhere threw the foreign object at the plane? If it were during a flight from one place to the other, I would want to say that, okay, maybe it was, sometimes these meteorological people, they say that, there's an object dropping from space. Maybe it's one of those things where, an object just dropping from space happened to just hit the vice president's aircraft. But in this situation, the aircraft was parked at the JFK airport, and out of nowhere, the foreign object hits the plane. Not only that, it just hits the plane. You could, by the damage that have been done, because reportedly, the damage really affected the cockpit area of the aircraft. So it's not just a small object. We'll be looking at a very, huge object, because for it to have that much impact. You all, before we go, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. Greg Shin says, but can this plane crash? Miss target. Hey, God, people. I know that, this government has been a terrible government so far. This government has really impacted the lives of its citizens negatively. No one even expected this amount of hardship. When Tinubu became the president, we did not think that he could do this more damage. But here we are, and we are in this already. But we thank God that recently the president has, put some certain measures that the masses have been clamoring for all this while that should be done. Because if you're expecting us to be patient and persevere, we also want to see you manage. We don't want to see you squander the wealth of a country and live extravagantly, living lavish lifestyle with the country's money when you're asking us to persevere and have patience. But recently, the government has put some certain measures, to allow them cut down on the cost of governance. It even went further to reshuffle its cabinet. So hopefully, we'll start seeing some very significant changes henceforth. But while I understand all of that, I still wouldn't wish death on anybody. Death is not something to be taken lightly. Carlos says, let him die. Let him die there. Who cares? Hey, God, may God help us. Like I said, I don't want to wish death. We cannot just wish death on anybody. Another person says, and what impact is Nigeria going to Commonwealth meeting? Only there to read scripted letter. Jason says, leaders of a country, there is borrowing money. Leaders of a country that is borrowing money up and down to survive, and whose citizens can barely eat 2 meals a day, are flying presidential jets up and down. Now, wow. Another person says, cowards die many times before their death. Can the Vice President of Nigeria, Mr. Kashim Shettima, go to the Commonwealth trip with public air transport, or another lie from the government? Public air transport? Have you seen the United States President on a public transport? Have you seen any country for that matter? Let's not even say United States, UK, and all of those countries. Come on now, guys. Mr. Bond says, this is the difference of having people who want to loot you and people who want to serve. People who want to loot you can't take public air transport there, but people who want to serve the people will enter a public plane to that destination. That's one big difference. You will see such examples with most prime ministers in Asia and Europe, but in Africa, and they are the slave to the so-called Commonwealth. So you all, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. Thank you very much for always listening and watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.